Hello and welcome to our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 349.
We set the alarm very early this morning because we all wanted to get up and go ride Rise of the Resistance. Our friends here have not ridden it yet, so we're very excited to take them over there. My friend and I got up and started getting ready to go over to Rise of the Resistance, but someone did not want to get up this morning.
Nope, my friend and I heard the alarm. It was very early and we both went, nope, we value our sleep. Rolled back over and went back to sleep.
So we finished getting ready and we left them there sleeping. That's fine with us. We got over to the park about 5:30 and they had already let the cars come in. So we got in line with the massive crowd outside Hollywood Studios waiting for them to open up the gate. We did have to wait there about 45 minutes until they finally opened the gate to let everybody in. And at this point, to get a boarding group, all you had to do was enter the park and then hit the button in the app. So as soon as we got in, we joined a boarding group and we got number 28, which is super exciting. We should be able to get on sometime this morning instead of having to wait till the afternoon, which is awesome. We made a beeline over to Galaxy's Edge because we didn't want to wait in line, the very, very long line, to get Starbucks. We wanted to try and go to ride Smuggler's Run before the crowd all got over there. When we got there, it was starting to get busy, but it wasn't too bad. The sign said it was going to be 20 minutes long. The wait was in fact only 15 minutes, which is even better. And by the time we finished the ride and got off, it had a 70-minute wait. So we did a really good job running straight to Smuggler's Run when we got there. We didn't take time to stop and look at anything else. I'm really glad we did this because now we have time to kill that we're not standing in line. We were hungry because it's early and we haven't eaten anything. So we headed over to Ronto Roasters and got some of those breakfast Ronto wraps. I love them so much. It's definitely my favorite thing here in Galaxy's Edge and maybe my favorite quick service item in all of Hollywood Studios. As we were getting our Ronto wraps, we were waiting on them to bring them up to the counter. We noticed a sign that said they had special hot chocolate here, and it was chilly this morning, so we decided to try some of that. It was actually pretty good, but honestly, nothing is as good as the Ronto wrap was. And while we were sitting there eating, we actually got the notification that it was time for our boarding group for Rise of the Resistance. So as soon as we finished eating, we headed over there and got in line. Very, very excited for his first time on this ride, and I'm very excited to get to ride it again because this ride is so amazing. We got in the queue and started working our way through those caverns as part of the queue and got in the first kind of big room there, and we just stopped and sat there and sat there and sat there, and we started wondering if maybe the ride might be down, and then a cast member started walking through saying, "Hey everyone, the ride is down." Yay! So you have two options. You can leave and we'll give you something so you can come back and get in line again later, or you can just stay here in line and wait for the ride to come back up. Well, they're at the resort sleeping. We really don't have anything else to do. The only thing we really wanted to do was Rise the Resistance today. So we decided just to stay here and hang out in the line. And after about 15 minutes waiting in line, randomly out of nowhere, Vi, the Resistance spy here on Batuu, and Ray just started walking through the queue, hanging out, chatting with everybody, talking, asking questions, seeing how we're doing. It was really random, but it was a kind of cool meet and greet because you didn't really expect it. And we were basically at the back of the line at this point because everyone behind us had already left. And so after they left, we kind of sat there and just waited. We're like, okay, eventually it's going to have to come back up. It's been about 30 minutes now. And then they came around again, but it wasn't characters this time. It was cast members with a great big box that had bottles of water, chips, and bananas for everyone who was stuck in line. And I was like, okay, they're giving us rations. How long are they expecting us to be here in this line? I'm kind of getting concerned at this point.
And at this point, I'm cracking up because Robert is sending me texts. I was awake at this point, and I'm like, I'm so sorry that you're going through this, but hey, you got pictures with Vi, you got pictures with Ray, you got free breakfast, so I guess that's cool.
It's bananas and chips. That's not really breakfast.
It's like a brunch. You have lunch and breakfast in there. I don't even know. It was really great. But I actually was hungry, so my friend and I went downstairs to Sanaa for their quick service breakfast. And this is something I have never gone to before. We've never had quick service here at Sanaa. We've gone to the table service many, many times, but I've never gone to the quick service. So we went downstairs to order some food. Most of it was just grab and go type items, but they did have a couple things on the menu. So I got the Eggs Benedict, which looked amazing. And my friend just got a regular breakfast platter. And after we ordered, the cast member handed me a little elephant with a number on it. And I just thought that was the absolute cutest thing ever and so appropriate for being here at Animal Kingdom Lodge. We went and sat by the window hoping to see some animals. And as it turns out, there was a big net up, so we were not going to see any animals. We just got to see greenery, literally greenery. We didn't have to wait very long for our breakfast, thankfully, because we're both very hungry. We did sleep in this morning, and once it arrived, it was so good. We did share because we both wanted to try each other's. It was delicious and very filling. After breakfast, we headed back up to our room, finished getting ready, and then we went and took a bus over to Hollywood Studios to meet up with them.
Around 15 minutes after they brought around the snacks and the drinks, someone else came through again, and this time they said, okay, everybody leave. We are not going to be reopening Rise of the Resistance anytime soon, so you all have to vacate. And I was like, no, we stayed here all this time. I mean, we got free snacks out of it, so I guess there's that. But they took us out this side door, and then suddenly we were by Muppets. It was really kind of confusing going from the full immersion of Galaxy's Edge into suddenly Muppets everywhere. But we walked out over there, and Alyssa and our friend came over, and we all met up together. We did plan to do some pictures today and some video around the park. So instead of riding the rides, we just went around and did a bunch of pictures and video around the park as I played with the data pad that they have in the Play Disney app. I love going through and scanning the crates and making all the different things interact here in the land. And we of course needed to get some pictures that we could use on social media and stuff like that. We had a lot of fun going all around here in Galaxy's Edge. It's one of my favorite places to hang out no matter what, especially when I get to use the data pad and start trying to collect all the little digital goodies in there.
We had a lot of fun taking pictures. There are some beautiful, beautiful places that you can take photos in Galaxy's Edge. Of course, everywhere at Disney World, but specifically here you get very unique photos. At one point during the pictures, I told Robert I wanted to take some spinny pictures, which I knew what that meant, but apparently Robert did not know what that meant. So he literally just starts spinning me around. I was like, that is not at all what I had in mind. I was so dizzy. So I had to explain I want like a dancing spinny picture. So we did get a few good ones as well. Before we headed over to the marketplace, and we had a lot of fun in here because they have some really, really awesome things to look at. Different plushes, all these types of creatures. But our absolute favorite were the Porg puppets. We had so much fun with these. We were making faces and playing with them and having the absolute best time. We honestly forgot we were supposed to be taking pictures and video because we were just having a lot of fun.
I'm easily distracted anyway, especially when it comes to shopping. Then you add Star Wars on top of that and then make it a puppet that I can actually play with. And yeah, it's a recipe for disaster, but we had a ton of fun here. While we were standing here trying to figure out what we wanted to do next, we looked at the app to see if Rise of the Resistance had any updates, and they actually had reopened the ride but didn't send out a notification, and it was kind of hard to find that in the app. So I was like, all right, well, if they just reopened it, there's a pretty good chance the line's gonna be really short. So we hurried over there for round 2 on Rise of the Resistance. This time, there really wasn't much of a line, so we got to go through really, really quickly and get up to the beginning of the ride part when you get to see Rey's hologram. And throughout most of the ride, I was pretty much videoing and taking pictures of my friend as he enjoyed it because I know what it was like my first time when I rode this and the absolute amazement that I had looking at all the different things going on. I wanted to try and capture some of that for him since he's always videoing and taking pictures of us. After the ride, we all met back up and then headed out of the park back to the bus over to Kidani Village because we both need to part ways and go to our own separate events tonight. Our friends are very excited to go to the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which we've already been to. So tonight we are going to go over to Epcot and we have a special dining reservation over at Via Napoli with the Candlelight Processional Dining Package.
We got inside and got seated really quickly, which was awesome. We have not been here in several years, but last time we were here, I absolutely loved one of the appetizers. So I definitely had to make sure I got that. It is the fried risotto balls, and these are incredible. They're a lot less filling than you would think they would be, which is awesome because I could eat so many of them. This is one of those times I did not share. I did not let Robert try them because I was going to eat my entire appetizer myself.
And that was fine with me because I ordered my own appetizer. I got calamari, and if you've ever had calamari before and tried to reheat it, you know that is not a good idea. So I had to make sure I ate as much of this as I possibly could. And then we have pasta coming as our entree, which does reheat very well. So I made sure to eat as much of my calamari as possible. Our entrees did eventually come out, and I got my kind of go-to pasta dish, which is fettuccine alfredo with chicken. This was really good. I love the cream sauce that they have here, and they put a little bit of shaved prosciutto on top, which is just perfect.
And I stuck with a traditional dish, the chicken parmesan, which was so good, and a very, very large piece of chicken. This was a lot bigger meal than I expected it to be, so I had to be careful because I know I want dessert, and so I didn't want to fill up too much. We did get some to-go boxes, and then I ordered the chocolate cake. I know that was a huge surprise, but it was really, really good, very moist, and just absolutely delicious.
And I had to go for the tiramisu. I'm kind of a sucker for it anytime I go to get Italian. It was amazing, and we asked the server, like, hey, can we get a box for our dessert too? Because Alyssa didn't finish all of her cake. I did finish all of my tiramisu, and after we finished boxing everything up, we did go ahead and sign off on the check, which thankfully was one of those prepaid meals because it's a candlelight package. And then our server gave us our tickets to head over to the candlelight processional. We got there and there were more seats available than last time we came because it's a later showing. We got seats right down front in the front section over on the right. We were a little bit closer to the end, but I'm okay with that because I get a little more leg room there on the aisle. But we had an amazing view of the processional, and tonight was Gary Sinise as the narrator.
While they were there, the time came for her to give birth. And she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no place for them in the inn. Unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
We only recorded a little bit of this because we wanted to just enjoy it tonight. We recorded the full version last time we were here, and we got to be next to the trumpeters, which was so cool. It was very loud as well, but it was really cool because they are a really amazing part of this entire experience. But just being here and listening to everything, the music, the narration, everything, it is such a huge production. It is so wonderful. and really does put you in the Christmas spirit. When it was done, we did take the bus back over to Kidani Village. We went out because we are here at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It is our last night here, so we were hoping to see a few animals outside. It was really dark, but we were able to use the night mode on our phones, which we're really loving. We got to see some animals and even got to see them out there feeding them, which was super cool. We waited up for our friends because they did get in much later than we did, so we did a little bit of work until they got there, and they told us all about the Christmas party and what they loved about it, their favorite parts, and then we all got ready for bed, and that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
for our Year with the Ears.